All right. Hello, everyone. We bring you all back to the terrifying climax of your time under the Biblioplex in what you assume to be the restricted archives under the library. And through interactions completely separately, you all have reconvened back to what you hoped would be your exit. But you are stopped by the creature that has been, you can only assume, watching you as you've been down here. I'm gonna re-describe the floor. You, Motiva, are standing underneath the beacon of light from the hole in the ceiling that leads back to the Biblioplex. No rope, no way to climb. The comforting weight that was on your shoulders is still there, coiled around you like a necklace almost. And between you and the rest of your friends is a giant spectral, see-through, draconic head, one large glowing green eye pointed at you, and then the other large green glowing eye pointed at the other group, with Dev Falin, Ashan, and the two Kenrith twins. The last thing that you heard this dragon utter before considering you all was, "When you always come from the same place, you get awful easy to catch." What are you doing?
Pissing and shitting and farting and vomiting and
You're
crying my
crying and puking
pants.
and throwing up.
Yeah.
I think. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I think Philin is kind of quiet and is like kind of frozen, but also like has shuffled a little bit back.
Oh, 100%. I think whenever you do that, you notice that it is sort of a domino effect with the sort of NPCs, finger quotes, that are with you, as Will goes to kind of take one step back, but is now sort of in like a... The only way I can describe it is, you know, when you're in a sort of sword's play stance and one foot is always behind, like your forward foot. He doesn't have his sword out, but that's sort of how he's standing. Rowan, more boldly, has a hand on her sword. And as far as you can tell, Ashan is a couple steps behind the group. Yeah. Varying levels of oh shit button, you know what I mean? But in this couple seconds that you've done that, no one else has moved to do anything.
I think Philin will speak up, a bit shaky, and will say, "We are sorry to intrude. We were looking for a friend."
Very good choice of words. You do not have to roll a deception. You are telling the truth, yes.
Yes.
I think with that, something very interesting happens. You see this dragon's form start to shift, and it's strange to see a translucent creature this big anyway, but getting to see it seamlessly move through the walls is... I will not speak on anybody's opinions on ghosts, but that's freaky. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What?
As it goes to turn and look you in the face, then the group with Falin, Dev, and the NPCs gets to fully see this dragon's face, like the picture that I showed you. And it's going to say, "Well, your friend is very troublesome. I'm glad to see that you've found him.
I,
Can, if Ashawn is behind us and we can't see him, can Dove try to like suddenly glance behind them to make sure he's still there?
Yeah, do you want to try to hide this movement that you're doing, or are you not trying to hide that you're looking back at him?
I mean, it sounds like the dragon already knows who he is, so I won't make a roll. I'll just look.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna say in this hallway is about it's about 20 feet from like the junction that Motiva's at to the end where it's a new junction. You guys are about midway through, and Ashawn is he's not gone, but at first when you thought he was only a couple steps behind you, he's probably now about 5 to 7 feet away from you all. But any movement that he was doing, now that attention is sort of called more specifically on this side, he has like stopped. You don't know if he's going to continue trying to like inch away, but he doesn't look like he's moving right now.
This motherfucker is gonna leave us here?
Oh, absolutely.
I ought to do that
Yeah.
right now. I just give him a fucking talking to about doing the. Ooh, okay, that's all Dove's gonna do. Tee.
It's a dragon!
it's a
I
fucking dragon.
don't care.
You don't care.
I think I have something else that Philin would respond to that with if you don't have anything.
I don't have anything to say at the moment. I think Philin has covered it nicely.
Okay. Philin is gonna respond to saying how Ashawn is troublesome, and is going to say, I'm sure he meant no harm. I'm sorry for any disturbance he may have caused.
Harm is rarely intentional. And actually, I think you see this face move closer, but not to you as a group. Philin, this nose comes within a foot of you. And it's almost like if it wasn't translucent, you feel like you could see up of the bone nostrils of this sort of spectral skull. And it opens its maw in a sigh that it is not a threat. It is a normal sigh of breath. But I feel like coming from a dragon, it is a motive of dragon's most well-known defense. You know what I mean? Like, it's like,
yeah.
It's not doing anything, but we all know what happens when a dragon opens its mouth. And it says, just looking for a friend?
Oh. Girly, you better put those fucking books back right now.
Girl. Oh man. Trying to think.
Yeah, I will not tell you what you should and shouldn't do. Do it in character.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to keep them, find a way to keep them.
Philin does really want to keep them, but also this is a dragon.
Good luck, girly. Good luck, girly.
No, she's got a trip to home tomorrow. She can't risk anything. She's gonna go and grab the 2 scrolls and the 2 books, and she's going to say, "That this is what we came here to do. Though I must admit, I did get a bit distracted."
Its size again going to pull back a little bit from you. Now it's only about 4 or so feet away from you, and say, "That's what they all say." A common happenstance, curiosity.
Elena's like,
Mhm.
I think she's shaking a little bit. Just a
Yeah,
little
fair
bit.
enough. In this direction, I think these sort of dead fish eyes are going to also look towards Dove, who's standing near Fulin, and say, "You're first years, are you not?"
Mm.
We are, yes.
Tell me, how has the school year been so far?
The fact that it's just making casual conversation is somehow more terrifying.
Oh my god.
There was an attack. That's why we were looking for him.
Another one?
Yes, the boy in front of you almost died. And so did my other friend there. And so did some of their friends. So we needed to find him.
You
we
see.
were worried about. Oh,
No, it's okay, go ahead. I was just going to say that it looks like it is listening to you. Go ahead.
we were worried about his safety after such an attack happened, so please forgive us for coming into a restricted section, but we had not been thinking about that in the moment over what could have happened to him.
You see it sort of go to sigh and say, "I suppose Extus never knew when to quit. We only just started putting together... Oh. No, I suppose that was months ago by now. Tell me, is the Biblioplex already repaired?"
Somewhat. The hole above us was because of damage.
Yes, I remember that.
I don't know.
Panini, what was the... Yes.
Yes.
What did she say?
She remembers that.
As far as I can tell, nobody's commented that things are different from last year. You'd have to ask the other two about that.
You see it go to nod, and it goes to move forward to look at the Kenriths, but in doing so, part of its face seems to pass through you, Fulin and Dove. 1 second. I have to look up something really quick.
I want to mention Motiva's like gripping onto her sister. She is sat on the floor. She is not moving. She
That
is a
is so fair.
ball.
That is so fair, bestie. Scary.
I hope Ashawn, in hearing how much we like vouched for him and how much we were concerned about him, like defending him to the giant fucking ghost dragon, and I hope it gets through to his cold fucking barren heart.
Us looking at him, you better remember this motherfucker.
We are real ride or die bitches, Ashawn. Don't let that go to waste.
you see it move forward. The sensation of this ghost touching you is cold, uncomfortable, unnatural, but not inherently harmful. As it goes to speak to the upperclassman behind you, and it says, "Tell me, is it still... It is 7:24 now, yes?" And Will and Rowan both, hackles raised, leaning back a little bit. Will shakes his head and say, "No, it's 7:26. The last attack happened 5 months ago." And the dragon seems to nod at that. Say yes. That sounds about right. And it is going to lean back so it is no longer occupying your space, the two of you.
Have you not been kept updated?
Few and fewer people come here in the past few years. More so, I suppose, since the last attack. You obviously need permission to be down here, or a member of the faculty. As far as I can tell, an event of that magnitude has probably had them stretched thin.
That's not very fair to you.
It is my penitence. I will be here. And I will guard these combs. Catacombs? Yeah, there we go.
Catacombs.
Combs.
I was going to be like, this aren't technically catacombs, but they are kind of, so I'm just going to use it. It sounds cool.
Even so, you're dead and you... Well, I don't know. This feels wrong. Motiva just curls up and hugs tight to her sister.
The dragon is going to look at you now.
No.
It also brings its spectral nose up close to you, and if you weren't so terrified, this would look really cool. This is right up your alley of aesthetics, but not right now. You know, not like this.
Like this.
Something very interesting whenever it gets about 4 feet away from you to talk to you, you hear, and you also feel Sister's head rear up and hiss.
Oh, no, not now.
But the dragon doesn't seem to be perturbed at all by that action. And it says, well, 700 years is a long time, but not quite as long as before.
That's too long. That's longer than Phelan will probably live. No offense.
The shrug is not taken.
I was gonna say it shrugs, but a dragon can't really shrug. I feel like it kind of just shakes its head a bit. And says, well, if you're curious, I suppose it's easy enough to learn about something as simple as the lifespan of dragons. Here. The university, not the archives.
I don't know much of anything about dragons, so I didn't assume it was something I'd have to look at. I wouldn't mind looking at it now, though.
You see it going to tip its head slightly and say, well, there are many books on dragons, the founders included, in the halls above. Uh, if you see me mentioned, I would like to preface that most recounts on paper are probably exaggerated,
As paper is wont to do.
as history is wont to do. You know of the way.
Oh, yes. History is terribly biased.
Tell me, have they announced the new theme?
For the masquerade?
Yes, the masquerade of 7/26 this year.
No,
No.
right, God.
But
No.
people think. No, but the student body thinks that it's going to be very dreary since last year's was colorful.
Ah, yes. Have you liked my dragon talk?
She's just talking. She's
It's
Yeah.
very good.
talking. Talking to us.
Felina's gonna speak up again and say, oh, how do I want to word this?
Word it good.
It's nothing bad, but I'm trying to think of how Felin would say it. Felina's just gonna kind of speak and say, pardon me,
It turns around to look at you.
and she puts a hand to her chest and says, I am Felin. We haven't really made proper introductions. What is your name?
That's right. Social etiquette. I am Miram, the Sentinel.
Felin nods. And she kind of gives like a nervous smile and says, there's a family back where I come from that has that name. Small multiverse.
Interesting. Very few here would take my name. So that is interesting. What plane
It's
are
a
you
lovely
from?
name. I come from a place called Exandria.
Ah. Yes, I know of that one.
You do?
Yes.
May I ask how you learned of it?
We have tomes and spells in the restricted archive taken from there.
Oh. I suppose that makes sense.
Yes. The restricted archive is where we keep knowledge, tomes, and spells that are best kept away from the world above.
How much of the archive have you read?
All of them. It is not terribly big. Not 700 years worth of time big.
Flynn kind of like puts her hand on her own cheek and is like sort of like amazed, I guess is how I would describe it. And she says, that's a lot of free time to read.
Yes. A lot of free time to think. a long time to be. Tell me, why are you here?
Uh, well, as I had said, we did come here to search for our friend, and I did get distracted. And she kind of looks to the scrolls and books that she has in her hands and kind of like holds it out towards the dragon. Says, I can put them back though.
You see it lift a claw and sort of make a flicking motion. And you feel more than you see. A sort of wave emanating from that motion. And suddenly the tomes and papers in your hands are gone.
Boom looks kind of sad, but she clasps her hands in front of her.
They will find their way back. Everything has a place here.
Miriam,
Yes.
oh, I had to think about this. Sorry.
Yes, I am leaning close to you.
Do you think that perhaps because all of us already know about this place and there is only you down here, that perhaps the faculty would allow us to slip? If they're so stretched then perhaps we could come down here and update you on events? Or
You're so smart.
academics?
There was a new club made.
Oh, and my name is Dove, by the way. I come from Eberron.
Eperon, I know of it. I have to think about how I'm going to respond to this. This is a very interesting and enticing thing you have given me.
Can we do a persuasion check with it?
I want you to roll me a persuasion and no, just a persuasion.
Can I
Just a
say that I supported and give advantage to Dove by backing up with we can give updates on clubs?
That is very smart. I will allow it. I will say
Cool.
that this is still a very high check, but you can definitely give advantage.
So I have advantage persuasion.
Yes.
Okay.
Please tell me you have proficiency in persuasion.
I do.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, okay. 25.
How very interesting. Okay.
This is like one of the highest numbers I can roll. Please be nice to me.
Don't worry, I'll be very nice to you. It is, in fact, very similar to the DC I rolled. So. Sorry, give me a second. I have to... Sorry, I have many moving pieces right now.
No, that's okay. I'm just thinking if we could get this, then we would still be allowed to come back here and maybe eventually be able to like look at the stuff with her permission. That'd be cool.
I think this is a
Be
very
very
spicy
cool.
way to try to do this, yes. I think that Miriam is going to look at you and study you for a long second. And sort of mumble. And when I say mumble, this is still a rasping, echoing tone. A mumble from a dragon is not a whisper, but almost as if it is talking to itself, as if that is a natural inclination of this creature. Students would know more about events, how things have changed.
I'll give you a paper every week, if you'd like.
Yes,
I
there's a
don't-
student newspaper.
I don't like that it seems like you aren't informed of the time. That feels cruel to me.
I do enjoy being kept up to date with current events. I will speak to Taiva. Who minds you? You are... And then it goes to kind of look at the twins behind you. And it says, Onyx is the one that minds you. You all as well?
Motiva looks to the twins and gives a like.
Yeah, I'm looking at him.
The twins kind of look at y'all kind of almost helplessly, and then to each other, and then Rowan is gonna kind of give a bit of a shrug and says, we are grouped together.
It was her idea to bring us here.
I would, Rowan kind of goes to clear her throat and say, I would even go as far to call her our counselor, so she minds us. And Miriam goes to rumble. Good, yes. I will speak to Taiva.
Who?
Director Taiva, the voice of the founders.
Who?
He makes decisions for the founders when they are not in the building, so to speak.
He must be very busy then.
You would think. He mostly mediates disputes. The deans tend to run their colleges fine enough. But he will be good for this.
Right now? Or...
No, I have kept you long enough. You may leave.
I appreciate that you would. Was it him, the director? Him?
Yes.
Him? Oh.
Him.
Keegan King.
I appreciate that you would speak to him regarding this. I'm glad that you would be interested in our company.
Yes, I think you are an amenable group. Strixhaven helps facilitate a lot of how do I word that? Strixhaven is prone to facilitating giving students responsibilities. It's hard for me to like word it in like a cool, mysterious way, but like there's a lot of give and take on this campus, as you've learned from like the ways that you can make money, you can help out, like you can volunteer. Like there's a lot of ways that students can technically do things that faculty do as a way to get experience or money or, you know, things in general.
Yes.
So I think that so sorry to gloss over the actual way that like it would say it, but like it is very easy for students to have responsibilities of some such like this, you know.
Yeah.
True. Motiva would get up and dust herself and say, if you're one for entertainment, I'm a musician.
Are you?
Yes, I have a career of it.
You know bardic tales?
I know of tales from my home. I
That
know many
sounds lovely.
things.
I like to know many things. It seems we are a pair.
The dragon loves me. Motiva's going to look and she's going to say, are we free to go?
There's sort of this sort of like rattling breath noise that you can only assume is a way for this ghost dragon to laugh. And it says, I have already said you are free to go. I'm
It
not
is
holding you here.
It is always important to double check with a host, though.
I suppose that is true. Though I think a more wise person would want to leave before I am less amenable.
I've never been very wise. She's going to look and she's going to give a small curtsy. She's going to say, Ashan.
Okay, as you sort of go to call out to him, he kind of goes to skulk from the back of the group. Again, farther back than anyone else in this group. As he passes the Kenriths, Dove and Falin, and this dragon that is sort of watching him as he passes. And as he does that, you actually see Mirim pick up a claw and hook into his
Lord!
belt and make a sort of grabbing motion as it pulls from it, and you feel that sort of same wind. And it says, now don't think I don't notice. Your friend was very amenable to offer up her ill-begotten findings. And Ashan looks pissed, but also does not continue to engage, and is actually going to very quickly go to throw up a rope and climb up. You guys can at your own pace leave now.
Motiva's going to go into her bag and she's going to pull out Sarah's journal. And she's going to offer it up. And she's going to say, I am willing to give this up, but if at all possible, I would like to come back to read over it and possibly ask questions about this with you, because this is very important to me.
It goes to look down at the journal and to you. and it goes to do the same thing where it goes to pull with a claw, and the book is taken from your hands, and it says, "When you have a slip that denotes as such, you can come and take notes on anything in here that you like. But until you are approved then, you may not touch any knowledge in these catacombs. It is for your safety, and it is for the safety of this plane and every other one."
I have learned that very quickly.
Good. Have a good evening.
On our way out, Fallen is gonna stop and is going to look to Miriam and ask, what kind of gifts do you like?
Gifts?
Yes.
We are sucking this dragon's cock.
You discuss material goods?
Yes.
She's going on a holiday tomorrow.
Yes, there will be plenty of trinkets.
I have never owned a trinket.
Flynn kind of clasps her hands together, and she has a smile on her face now. She's not as nervous or scared as she was previously. And is going to say, "Would you like it to be a surprise?"
Yes, you may bring me a material good from your holy day.
Fallen nods her head and says, "I will give it to you as soon as I am able."
Have a happy holiday, and may the gods walk with you.
Flynn will nod and give a slight bow, and she's going to say in Undercommon, basically, "Light be with you."
It nods. It looks weirdly proud of itself for a ghost dragon. Yes, I know social etiquettes. I haven't forgotten them. Awesome, do you leave?
Yeah.
Alright,
I'm
you
good to
climb
go.
up.
Double thank her once more, and also go to climb up.
Nice. It will also give you a generic goodbye greeting, you know.
Yeah.
Motiva's going to wait to go last.
Okay. You can definitely do that. The twins will kind of go up. I think that both Will and Rowan are concerned at the idea of you going last. But if you push it, they like will. But they'll kind of like keep a watch. They'll keep a watch on down the hole, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Motiva will give a bow, and she's going to say something in Finnish that I will not say aloud.
Give it to me.
Oh.
Give me.
Oh, secrets?
Give me the secrets.
It's a pun. It's a pun.
Yes.
It's a pun. She says that in Finnish, and she gives a bow.
Hold on one second.
Pog.
It's gonna respond in Finnish.
Pog.
It lives in the Biblioplex. It knows everything in here.
Motiva goes up.
Then you leave. By the time you all come up from under the Biblioplex, a place of almost pure darkness, you are greeted by the bright light of the moon shining down through the glass of the Biblioplex, as it is now nighttime. And you are all standing around this hole as Ashan goes to roughly pick up his hook, roll up his rope, and go to put the slab back on as if nothing had happened. And I'm going to pause really quick to take a little bio break, but woo! Alright, we're recording again. You guys are back up in the Biblioplex. Your way is lighted by the almost full moon. I want to say it's probably a quarter right now. Filtering in through the glass ceiling and walls, and occasionally dancing lights and fireflies are lighting the books around you and the grass underneath the kind of roughed up tiling of the floor. What are you guys all doing? Before I do anything else.
Felin is shaking out her hands. She again shakes out.
Shake it out.
Shake it out, shake it out. Well, that is interesting.
What are the other two of you doing the minute you get out? How are you feeling?
Is Sister still here?
No, as soon as you hit the light of the moon, you no longer have that calming presence on your shoulders.
Motiva just lays back on the floor.
I think Dove just places a hand over their chest and also just sighs.
In response to Euphalin saying, well, that was interesting, you see both, you see Will go to kind of like sit down on like a rock really heavily, like a thwum, with sort of this kind of like incredulous like laugh, and Rowan finally letting go of her sword, just saying, "You're telling me." And you, how do I describe this part? You can sort of see the tension and agitation that Ashan holds in his body as he kind of goes to idly kick a rock and send it pinging into the side of one of the bookshelves. That's kind of where you're at right now.
Ashan,
What?
if Miriam is able to secure slips for all of us since we all know the location, then she will allow you to still continue to take notes.
No, probably not, because I... He goes to run a hand through his hair and say, That's not going to... that word. It's not just going to negate that I've already been down there, and it's not going to negate that whatever, it doesn't matter. Congrats.
Congrats on what? Going down there to make sure you were okay?
No, because you
Would
get a
you
nice
have to-
little slip, and you get to be a cool, well, I don't know if I can call it a teacher's pet if it's a dragon, but
You should talk with her first before you just assume that she'll say no. I did it because I knew how important it was to you and I had to try something. I don't think that you would have wanted to run into her by yourself.
he goes to kind of shrug, and his hands kind of fall to his side, and he says, well, maybe it would have been just as bad if I had gotten caught by myself, but either way, I'm fucked, so.
Why?
I told you people, well, oh yeah, he didn't tell you, he told Dove, and he said, I don't know, people are watching me. I'm already under a close eye. I'm sure hearing that I've been down there multiple times isn't going to help that. It's fine. It doesn't matter. Thank you for your help. And thanks for caring to come find me.
Can I roll insight?
Sure.
Yeah, I'll roll insight.
Yeah, sure.
Me too.
Yeah.
He done started to piss me off.
That 8.
Something autistic.
Ten.
The 10.
Stop. Eva.
25.
25.
Oh!
Shit.
Dove and Motiva, all you can pick up from him is that he's mad and frustrated. Falin,
Mhm.
I'm gonna DM you this and see how you respond to this.
Ooh.
25 is very good.
Spicy.
Juicy.
Juicy.
Mackenzie fucking raring to beat the shit out of him.
I was just trying to help him and wanted to make sure he was okay. And I was all pissed off at us.
He's an angry boy.
He's an angry boy.
He's an angry boy that's getting incited by their local fucking elf.
Do your LIC.
I'm waiting on the word of God.
There you go. I think while you guys are inciting this, something very interesting, because you have other people here. I I feel like you guys kind of hear a throwaway comment from Will where he says, well, if it's this much of a problem, maybe you shouldn't have come so often. And Ashan is just like, oh, whatever.
Get his ass!
The girls are fighting!
The girls are fighting a little bit.
Flynn's gonna walk up to Ashan and is going to put a hand on his shoulder.
I want... I need you to make a roll for this, actually. Hold on.
Oh!
Alright, what's the human version of animal handling? What do you do to, like, convince somebody to let you touch them when they're pissed off?
Like, maybe persuasion?
Just
That
do
would be my
animal
guess.
handling. Just do animal handling.
I would be better at animal handling.
Sure, let's just do that, because that's funny. He's 2 seconds away from biting, so sure.
Woo. Okay. 15.
15. I feel like for a second he looks like he's trying to shrug you off, but you manage to, like, skin to skin, hand on shoulder, and he, like, lets you, but he's kind of, like, squinting at you, and he kind of works his jaw. But you can go ahead.
Flynn is going to look at him very sympathetically and is going to say, keep running into the issue of how would she say this.
Yeah, me also. That's me as that dragon. I was like, I have so many things to say. How the fuck is this dragon gonna say it?
Okay. Flynn is going to say, I understand your frustration, but no. I believe I can speak for everyone here when I say that we care for you deeply, and I don't think we will let you get quite as fucked over as I think you may be fearing that you will be. I know that probably does not mean much in just words, but know that I am more than willing to cause a fuss.
Roll me a persuasion with advantage.
Hell yeah.
Ooh. Can I try to give triple advantage?
What?
Can I try to give triple advantage?
No, triple advantage doesn't exist.
That's a d12. I don't need that. Persuasion. 13.
What was the bad one?
What the hell?
The bad one was a 2.
Ooh. Okay. No, that's okay. That's okay.
Advantage exists now.
I know how to make this work. I know how to make this work. So,
Okay.
as you say it, you're looking Ashan like in the face, and you kind of see a bunch of emotions kind of flit across his face, but it ends up kind of landing on a still vaguely frustrated, brows furrowed, but almost in like a tired way. And he kind of says almost dismissively, you don't know shit. And he kind of like takes his arm and he kind of like nudges your hand off his shoulder, and he goes to walk away. And your passive insight is pretty high. You feel like he took in some of it, but he doesn't believe all of it, you know? So you have kind of diffused the situation, but it has not given you the outcome you wanted.
Yeah. Owen will just kind of nod and let him go.
And he is going to walk away. You are left in the Biblioplex with your Kenriths and the three of you.
Yes. She's gonna look to everyone else and say, I believe he's more frustrated with himself than anything.
That's
The
fair.
situation.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just clarifying the situation.
Motiva just nods and says that's fair and fine.
It's kind of a fucking dick. And Rowan, you hear Rowan say that from the corner. And she looks like kind of mad on behalf of you guys.
Motiva just shrugs and how do I say this politely?
Mm-hmm.
When people feel that they're utterly alone and that they have no one to rely on, they have only themselves, there is only so much that can convince them that other people aren't wanting to hurt them. I've been there before. Let it go.
I think you saying that kind of definitely helps Rowan, and the kind of frustration that you also saw from Will earlier. It kind of mollifies them, and Rowan looks like a bit bad that she said that, but not enough to be like, like groveling. You know what I mean? It's just like a they also get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. When they like look calm down, she's gonna say, "Oh, don't get me wrong. You can be pissed, you can be angry, but always make sure you're wearing the other person's shoe whenever you're talking about them."
Yeah.
Or something dick joke. She
Something proverb.
Something cock, suck, dick, fuck, shit. We got caught. God damn, we're so stupid. She just fucking curls on the floor.
I think Dev is just gonna sit down at this point also.
Everybody's sitting in a circle.
Yeah.
Motiva's on the fucking future.
Everyone's gonna rev Motiva's back and say, to be fair, I can literally speak for myself. I had no idea that there was a giant dragon sentinel in the archives. I wasn't aware we were supposed to be looking out for that.
I
saw it. I should have told you guys. I saw her twice. What's up?
Oh, I think Rowan and Will would also have been like, no, I didn't think there was a dragon on campus all year round. But go ahead, Motiva.
Motiva would just say no. When me and Ashan ran out the first time. Actually, no. Motiva's gonna look to the Kenriths and says, "Hey, you should take us back to your room."
You see them go to, as soon as you say that, go to kind of quickly look around them, and you seem alone in this library, but they both nod, and they're going to squirrel you away over to Prismari campus.
Teehee.
Oh, yeah.
And they're specifically going to take you all the way to their studio that has like the chase lounge in front of the like bookshelves. And you guys all kind of squish yourselves on there.
Ew, no. Motiva's flomped on the ground. How dare you?
You are flomped on the ground, and everybody who wants to be on the chase lounge is squished together with the twids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now you guys can talk here in relative privacy.
So yeah, no, I absolutely saw that dragon whenever me and Ashan were leaving the first time, and it was terrifying. weird stuff happens to me all the time, so I kind of just assumed it was one of the other 15 things wrong with me. It was not me this time, and I apologize for that.
Oh, there's. I do not believe you have reason to apologize.
Uh,
We all agreed to go in there, and
He would
what's
have gotten
has
caught
happened has happened.
eventually. Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay. It's okay.
Sarah finished, if you want to go ahead.
He would have gotten caught eventually. I think the situation ended much better than it could have.
This, I think, is correct. I can absolutely believe Ashan would try to square up to a dragon.
Yes,
I mean,
it's
did you
very
see him try to
like him.
sneak past the dragon with the book still? Because I didn't miss that.
Yeah, no, maybe I did notice that. Fair thing to notice, I have to say. Actually, Motiva's gonna get up and she's going to grab Phelan's head like a squishy toy.
Hello.
So, Will, Phelan, you've officially dropped down to dumbest bitches I've ever met. Why were you two the ones that were screaming about the dragon? Why were you carrying around the books? Why didn't you try to stop her? Hey!
Will looks downright sheepish.
And
And Rowan is like, you what?
Hey, you two.
Rowan is like, hey, wait a minute, yeah.
Hey, lovebirds. I know it's really cute to be like, oh my god, we're geniuses and we are gonna like run around. And she's just walking around twirling her hair. We're gonna run around and like, oh, we're gonna like look at all the illegal books. Oh, we're gonna look at the illegal spells. I know. I understand. It's so fun. It's so cute to look at each other and be like, oh, we're so sneaky. We're so sneaky. Look at us. We're so sneaky. But that was really stupid.
Phelan. Sorry.
I'm gonna kill them.
Will-
They're Victorian orphans.
Will is blushing and doing that. It's a very modern thing, but it's like the equivalent of that thing where he's like looking away and putting a hand over his eyes.
Yeah,
Don't look at him.
Phelan has her hair in front of her face. She like was fidgeting with it, and now she's just using it to hide.
Rowan is like leaning over next to Will and fucking like slugs him in the shoulder and is like, you could never stay away from a secret in your life, and this is the time. You do it while we're here.
So I want a list of 2 excuses. I know you're both very clever, so I would love to hear them. I'm the one who snuck down and got a book in the first place. 4 whole things. I just need to know.
Oh, Will's really quiet right now.
Why is it that Dove and Rowan, the self-proclaimed party kids, the ones who got to find Ashan, first of all, and second of all, didn't get caught, oddly enough? Very good job, you two! I'm so proud! I'm waiting, you guys.
Phelan kind of mutters from behind her hair. And says, it was waiting around the corner when we were walking. I got a bit scared. I'm sorry, I was not acting very logically.
And your senior would say...
I have made a lot of dumb mistakes in my life. And Rowan is just like, mm-hmm. Like expectantly, and Will is like, that was the whole sentence.
Akira just kind of looks at Rowan. She says, "Soak in this. Let's bask in this. Give us a moment, guys. We need a moment of silence." She doesn't even give a moment. She just says, "We're all stupid, actually. We shouldn't have gone down there."
Rowan fucking like rubbing at a temple like I should have. I should have realized. I've also made a lot of dumb decisions in my life. I should have realized this would have fucked us. I guess not like fucked us. I guess we got out of it relatively free. She didn't seem that mad, but also, you know.
I'm gonna be honest, you're as far-sighted as they come. You wouldn't have seen it 2 inches away.
Hey.
Flynn is kind of peeking out from her hair, and she just says, "Nobody's immune to stupid mistakes."
It's true! Common sense got scattered across the entire multiverse, and everybody only has a lick of it. I should have recorded that. Not this, the dragon.
Oh, wait. God.
Yeah.
We talked about this after last session. Did we get to see that Motiva had the snake around her before the dragon showed up?
Yes, because it was also there while the dragon was there. There were just more pressing issues, but you all saw that snake, that sort of like oil slick looking snake, and it hissed at the dragon.
Yes. So after like that beat of silence, Philin is actually gonna look at that Motiva and say, "Why did you have a snake around you, by the way?"
Now Motiva like sheepish, and she just says, "Oh." She's not answering. She's taking a second.
What was that? A sister?
Yes, that was my sister.
Oh, that's nice.
She was not being very nice, and it was very scary. I don't like.
She was trying to protect you from the dragon.
Maybe, I don't know. I haven't seen her unless I've gone into the biblioplex underneath, so.
Does she normally only appear in the dark?
God?
See, that's something that's very interesting, is that...
As far as I know, she had no, like, comprehension with it.
What? Comprehension?
Not comprehension. Thing.
Routine?
Yes!
No what?
Routine would be a better word for it?
Yeah, so here's what's very interesting is that back on Earth, it would be really random, and it would just be kind of, like, you would be walking sometimes, and you would see her, like, not just always on you. It would be like, it's kind of like you would associate it with, like, how pagans can see signs. It's just that every time you saw a black snake, it was this snake, or, like, sometimes she would just be, like, sitting on a bush or a shelf, like, coiling around places, and it didn't have any tie to the dark. But so far here, you have only seen her in dark scenarios, if that makes sense. Whether that's an actual pattern or not is really up in the air because you haven't seen her that often, but she has only shown up when it has been legitimately dark.
Yeah, Motiva would say, no, that's not normally how it goes, but since coming to Arcavios, yes, I've only seen her whenever it's dark, but I've only seen her twice, and you saw her the one time.
Usually very light on Arcavios, so I feel this perhaps makes sense if here she is only showing in the dark.
I've seen her while walking to school, though.
Oh,
I do remember that is something that has happened to Motiva. She would just shake her head and say, there wasn't really any method to her. I don't. I don't know. Motiva looks deflated now, and she goes to sit on the floor and just stares at the ceiling.
oh no.
Oh, darling.
Do the twins have any?
Do the twins have any what?
Kind of thoughts looking in the brain.
About specifically talking about sister or just in general?
The sister.
I think that they look like they don't know what to make of it. And it's kind of like a mild wariness, like a very, very light discomfort, but they also look I don't know. They also look like they wouldn't really know what to make of it.
Them's fair. Was
think
just
it is a very-
curious.
No, you're
Yep.
okay. Like I'm not trying to like I hope it doesn't seem like a cop out. It's just this is definitely not their wheelhouse. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Motiva just rolls over and flomps. She looks like she's about to go to bed.
God, she's so valid.
Flynn will lean over and pat her.
So your twinlinesses. There was an attack 5 months ago.
Yeah. Yeah, there was.
What happened?
They both look tired.
Oh.
And Rowan goes to kind of run a hand through her hair and kind of gesture vaguely and say, well, I suppose now is a good enough time to talk about it.
Hold on. Motiva's gonna hold up a hand. She's going to say, are you actually okay to share it with us, though?
She's
If
gonna
you
pick her words
truly-
carefully. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
she's just gonna say that she looks like she's picking her words carefully, but keep saying your thing.
If you truly do not want to, I will simply have somebody else tell me, because I have a gut feeling it has something to do with all of this. And she's going to motion to the two of them. Not even just like their leg and her head, just all of it.
She's gonna look like she's gonna pick her words really carefully and then eventually kind of just give a sigh and say, it is better for you to know in case this happens again and you are called to help, like we were. That's what planeswalkers do if they're the good ones. We are generally the most powerful people in an area, and we generally have the most ability to change things that should or should not happen. If something like last year is going to happen again, we will all have to rise up and answer the call to help. The kinds of fights that planeswalkers are in are the kinds that unmake worlds. It's not fun to talk about, but we should. How are you guys feeling?
I have said this in every RP I've had with the Kenriths, but talking to the Kenriths is so fucking depressing.
Yeah.
I think Dove looks so exhausted because they have not even been here that long. And Dove has had shit dumped on them like every other day.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a planeswalker. Oh, there's like a tyrannical dragon that like unmakes worlds. Oh, there was an attack 5 months ago. Oh, you almost got killed today by an owlbear. Oh, you know.
Oh yeah, it's a terrorist
Oh, you
attack.
know.
Oh, you know.
Oh, if there's another one, you have to help.
Yeah, like I don't think Dove has like the capacity to like express how fucking tired they are right now.
That's fair. I just like checking in on you. How's Philin feeling?
I think Phelan is also tired, but
Mhm.
she's actively listening and still seems like she's tired, but she's gonna keep going. She's
I
not
get
quite
that.
ready to pass out.
Holding on by a thread, I get you.
Yeah, looks worried because of what they're saying, but
Yeah, obviously. Um Rowan sighs, and Rowan is going to start talking and say about 5 months ago at the tail end of the year, about 5 months as in, you know, the general sense. Fuck, how many days is 5 months?
A lot.
yeah.
150?
152 around there.
Okay,
Yeah.
about 150 days ago. There was an attack on the school. Saying it sounds more dramatic than it was. It wasn't the whole school. It was a small and very capable team infiltrating, I suppose is the best way to describe it. It's why most people don't know about it. It happened without a lot of people actually knowing what was happening. So it was very easy to not scare people. They were a group of Arik, specifically led by a man by the name of Extus Nar, who we know and is widely known as their leader. He and a small group of people infiltrated Strixhaven, made their way to the Biblioplex, to the Strixhaven Snarl, and tried to use its magic to do something. What his goal was, we're not sure, but there is a lot of magic here. The Strixhaven snarl is what I've been told is the biggest snarl in this plane. They're these tangles of magic that can be unwoven, essentially. And to stop him, we fought. Us, Professor Onyx, and some faculty defended the snarl. And what happened to us? Well, this is a lot less cool. It was just a wound that was... There had to be an emergency amputation at the site, but I got my thing from using and tapping into the snarl myself to drive off Extus and stop whatever he was doing. The fight was long, hard, one of the harder fights that I can say either of us have been in. And the Biblioplex was pretty badly damaged afterwards. And we haven't heard anything of any Auric on the school grounds since, but it is why it's encouraged not to go off campus anymore. It's encouraged not to commute by foot between campuses anymore. It's why we now have a system that we know who is on campus, and it is only students and faculty. I think I was told that it's harder to get in this year, but I wouldn't know the details of that. So that's the whole thing.
Is that why Professor Onyx wanted us here?
No, probably not. Like I said, I had thought the matter had settled last year. I think what she says, in it being that we are trying to mitigate the threat that young planeswalkers have, to help protect their sparks, to help protect them from being manipulated, to help them from being put in a situation where they have to find their way on their own. I believe that because it happened to us and it happened to most every other planeswalker I've ever met. And she isn't the only planeswalker looking for unsparked planeswalkers. I've mentioned it offhand, but we were picked up and brought to Strixhaven by a person who says that she looks for unsparked planeswalkers. Whether she's lying, I'm not sure. I've never been a great judge of character in the past, but I choose to believe it.
Thank you for telling us, Rowan.
Yeah. Not great, but it is what it is, you know? It's just, life is just going from one conflict to another, you know?
Very true.
Have you guys eaten today?
Nope.
I had some drinks with Eleni.
Alright, hold on. And you see her go to, like, put her hands on her knees and, like, stand up with, like, a groan, like an old dad. And she's gonna kind of go to, like, a cabinet, and she opens it, and she's gonna bring back a fantasy staple, some bread and some cheese.
Yeah.
She's gonna cut us all some bread and cheese to eat to heal our souls.
Oh, food always helps.
It's true. It's true.
I wonder if I can make toast.
You could try to make toast. Do you wanna? You have successfully just used your magic to make a spark randomly. You could try to do that with some fire.
Motiva takes a second and she says, "We were told everything is fireproof, right?"
What?
By Nora. I'm not crazy, gang. Nora told us everything was fireproof.
I do not remember, but I could believe it.
I think some places have a higher, like, defense against magical damage, but I don't think the whole school is fireproof. Maybe I might have said that, but I don't remember.
I remember Nora saying something along those lines specifically because of Fire Genasi students.
Oh, that's right. You're right. Then yeah,
Okay, Motiva just puts it.
it's probably not fireproof. It's probably kind of like how there are materials that are like fire retardant. You know what I mean? That don't catch fire, but they can burn. Does that make sense?
Yep, but he was gonna like. He was gonna hold the cheese in one hand, the toast in another, and she says, "If I pass out doing this, I looked really cool." And she's gonna spark the bread.
Okay. I want you to roll me an Arcana and spend a spell slot. What do you got?
One.
Okay, then it costs 1 exhaustion, but roll me an Arcana.
Oh my god.
Got you, bestie. Oh.
11?
Wow.
Okay, hold on.
I thought I've already done this.
Oh wait. Sorry, no, go ahead. This
You have
doesn't
already
work. I
done
have
this.
something.
Well, you've kind of done this. This is a bit different than electricity. You're trying to toast
Ooh.
bread.
Yeah.
Okay, you're very lucky. I rolled very low on that DC. I think that you managed to toast this bread. It's probably a little bit more burnt than you like, but it's not charred and it doesn't start smoking.
Delightful. Motiva puts the cheese on it and she starts nibbling.
Rowan claps for your benefit.
Flynn also claps. She's also gonna cast Prestidigitation to flavor up our cheese and bread.
You don't like cheese and bread? That's Rowan.
Flynn just looks and says, "No, I like it. I just figured,
Yeah,
zhuzh it
the
up."
princess's taste, you know.
I am far from a princess, but thank you.
I think if anybody should be picky about their food, it's us, and you don't see us prestidigitating our bread and cheese.
Oh, but Flynn is so delicate.
A dainty maiden.
Motiva's gonna look over and she says, "Wait, who said a dainty maiden?"
Rowan said it, but Rowan is also going to, because you've Motiva, you've talked to Rowan about Flynn and Will, right?
Yes, I had a full conversation.
Rowan's gonna elbow Will in the ribs as soon as she says a dainty maiden in regards to Flynn.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Your smile is so bad that I'm hurting. Oh my god.
This is so funny.
Oh my god.
Actually takes a second.
So bad.
Motiva actually takes a second. She says, "I don't know, Rowan. It's kind of cute that you say that, considering aren't you quite the maiden yourself, being taken in by the charming changeling? He's dressed up so light."
I'm going to kill you.
No, you can't kill me. That's rude. Motiva
just takes a bite of bread and cheese.
Look at him. He's such a gentleman taking your food.
Rowan is actively putting you in a headlock. Roll athletics. Against Rowan. Keep in mind.
I'm so happy that Motiva keeps getting into wrestles with people.
So good.
What did you get?
11.
Oh, no, you did not beat her.
No.
You are headlocked.
But she was gonna look to Rowan and she says, I'm gonna use a spell on you if you don't get the fuck off of
You
me.
play a dangerous game, little girl.
I am not little, I am strong and beefy, and you have donkey lips. I'm gonna use Vicious Mockery on her.
God. Oh my god.
What is that? What do I
Wisdom
roll?
saving throw.
Hold on, I have to get Rowan's fucking
my
stat block?
God!
Oh my god.
You're physically going to hurt her.
Can I try to make it not actually hurt her?
No, you have to do the damage, but I will say that it's not lethal.
No.
You do have
No.
to do the damage. It's a spell.
Sarah has avoided damage before.
Sure, I
When?
have.
Whenever
It was when I did Magnify Gravity when Motiva was wrestling with Ashan, and I was like, can I do this non-harmfully and just use it to drag?
See, that's fair, but also, like, then I don't see the point in you doing this spell. You could just shit talk her. The only thing that the spell does is, like, give you psychic damage, and the psychic damage makes you have the disadvantage, you know?
That's fair. Okay, I will do this.
Okay,
I
yeah,
will
just
do
shit
it.
talk her.
I will mad commit to shit talking her. Not to get crunched.
Okay, hold on. I still have to look at her stat block really quick.
Oh.
Don't worry about it.
Oh, you should change the music, by the way.
I don't know what to change it to.
Snowden.
Okay, hold on.
Something upbeat, something
Okay.
happy.
Give me a second. I'm gonna
Yeah.
pause really quick. Okay, I'm unpaused. So she's gonna headlock you. You should talk her, and she's like, "Oh, this is how it's gonna go. This is how it's gonna go. After all the things I have done for you." Donkey lips?
I never said up there.
You're taking your fucking grave.
Oh my god.
Motiva's
Yeah.
Motiva's gonna say, Motiva's going to say very loudly, I'm sure Dove will love your donkey lips. I'm sure.
Motiva, you can't see this. Everyone in this room can see, you know that, like, incredulous expression of anger? As she's, like, choke holding Motiva. It's to the point where Will goes to, like, stand up and says, Rowan, that's Rowan. And Rowan is just like, no, it's okay, I got her, I'll get her. And then you see her go to, like, jut her head, and she says again, get her. And then you guys see, you haven't seen them for a minute because they're not glowing anymore, but you see as Rowan's mascot, Familiar, goes to, like, jump up and do, like, a backflip, and it is actually going to use an ability called Captivating Artistry, where it does a sort of backflip and, like, strikes a pose, and it starts, like, glittering with elemental magic, and you need to make a charisma saving throw.
You
Oh my
cunt.
god.
Please. 21.
Eat shit.
Did I get charmed?
No, I'm just mad you won. You were gonna get charmed by this creature, though.
Motiva's gonna look and she's gonna say, it's very cute. However, she looks over and she says, well, if you like, I could give a diss track for you too. Don't worry, this is a whole thing.
You see Rowan immediately goes to, how do I do
Gank.
this? Rowan is just gonna say, oh, you leave him out of this. I wanna say that she's just gonna shove her hand in your mouth.
Ah! Motiva just looks at Rowan. She looks at Rowan and she looks at Phelan and Dove. And
Dove
she
shakes
just...
their head. Don't, Motiva.
Lynn is laughing behind her hands.
Motiva's gonna fucking... What is that? Somatic is... No.
Somatic is hands.
Yeah. can I use minor illusion? It's somatic.
Sure.
Motiva's gonna use not vicious mockery. Minor illusion.
Yeah.
And Motiva's going to make a voice appear and just says, Rowan's a bitch-ass motherfucker who can't handle a little bit of pissing on. And she's just gonna fucking flip off Rowan.
I think Rowan is going to go back to sit down on the couch but keep you grappled and silenced. See, we're just having a lovely time, having a nice snack after a harrowing experience. I love you guys so much.
I smash my bread against her hand.
This is what our dorm room is like every night.
It's very fun.
It is kind of fun. Rowan will let you go now. And also wipes the spit off on your clothes.
Motiva looks at Rowan and says, your hand tastes like ass. You're a princess. Don't you use lotion or something?
I don't know what that is.
Disgusting.
Would you like some? It's very nice.
I think she will accept some lotion.
I don't have any on me, but...
Oh. Well... Sure.
I will be glad to share some with you.
And I owe you for future lotion. That's fine. That's cool.
You don't strike me as the type that would like perfumes, but I can make them.
Oh yes, that was very good.
Ooh, making some perfume for your girlfriend.
It would be a lovely gift.
Rowan is just gonna pipe up. Oh, is that where we are now? You should have told me.
Oh, yes, I was planning to, but so much happened.
It's true. The day really got away from us.
I almost died. It happens, you know?
You weren't gonna die. I was there.
Motiva just looks to
No,
Will.
I meant when I got mauled by the owlbear. You were very
Oh,
much
that's
not
right.
there,
I wasn't
Rowan.
there.
Motiva
Never
just
mind.
looks to Will and just says, aren't you supposed to get and give approval? Your sister's being taken away right in front of you.
Where do you think I come from?
Hell, actually.
Rowan can make her own decisions. Did Eldraine strike you as a patriarchy? Because we're not.
I don't think he understood the joke, Mativa.
The joke is that Will doesn't understand jokes. And Flynn, I don't approve of your boyfriend.
Will kind of just laughs and says, maybe I just didn't want you to get another one up on me since you're really rankling to get under everyone's skin here.
I am very good at it. It's a fucking talent.
Do I want to say that? Oh my god, do I want to say that?
Yes.
Will is also gonna kind of look at Dove and kind of stage whisper, either way you can have her. I love playing the siblings. They're such annoying little twins. I love them.
Dove smiles really wide, puts a hand over the side of their mouth, and stage whispers back, I'm so glad you approve.
Motiva claps her hands together and starts going over like matrimony vows.
If you ever need a ceremony performed, I'm licensed for it.
I forgot you could marry people.
Yeah.
I like the idea of Rowan goes to put like an arm around Will's neck as like a very loose chokehold, but also just an arm around his shoulders and be like, "Oh, you're not gonna get rid of me that easy. You're stuck with me." But then Will is just like, "Wait, really?" To what Flynn said.
Yes.
You're ordained?
She's a priest. She's a whole ass priest.
Wow.
Mhm.
I suppose I shouldn't be. I guess I shouldn't be that surprised, but that feels like an entire career choice.
Yes, it is.
You're gonna fuck a priest. That's
Uh,
Mativa!
I was going to say.
Will is not
Tomorrow.
looking at anyone in the room. Will is like, "Don't look at me."
we visit my home, I'm going to have to perform some of my duties as a priest.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, that's okay.
You want to see her in her garbs?
Oh, that reminds me, and she's going to turn to Dove. Dove,
Lynn?
I have a very important question to ask of you.
Oh, yes, what is it?
And she's going to grasp his hands. Would you help me with the ceremonial makeup?
I would love
Oh, that's
to.
cute.
Do you want me to put it on you, or do you want me to look like you, and then you put it on that way so you can kind of see how it would look?
She puts a hand on her face and she says, I put my face in your capable hands.
Perfect. I will make sure you look brilliant.
What are you thinking,
Please
Mativa?
restrain yourself, Mativa. I know it's difficult.
when she said hands
Gosh, it really is getting late, though, isn't it?
does have good hands, huh?
We should be retiring back to our dorm room soon.
Shut up, old man, I'm never done.
Philin says, completely oblivious, yes, he has very talented hands. He was very skilled.
Rowan's just like, really? You don't say. Looking between Falin, Dove, and also Will. Interesting.
Mativa on the floor, slapping the floor.
Well,
Jeez.
wouldn't you like to go to the grey room tomorrow morning before we leave?
Sorry, can you say that
Or-
again?
When would you like to go to the grey room? Or are we doing it once we arrive to your world?
Ooh, that is a good question. Probably once we get back to my home. There's a lot of pieces that go together. I think it will be easier.
Okay.
Mativa's just slapping the floor, still laughing. Like a fucking witch cackle. This is a full-on howl.
I Will is just like, no, people are sleeping.
And they sigh. I am hilarious. I'm so funny. I'm so fucking funny. I'm
Do
so
I want to
fucking-
do this?
What?
Hold on!
Do it.
Hold
Yes.
on! There are people that live near here!
Oh,
We're gonna get fucking noise complaint.
Give me a second.
Oh my god.
Victoria's gonna fucking show up with like eye cucumbers on and be like, excuse me.
Hold on a second. Hold on, I have to look at the dorm layout.
Oh.
Oh yeah! Oh yes! Oh yes!
oh no. Hold on.
I have to roll for
Oh
even
my
more people than I thought.
Oh my god.
Ah.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I just had an amazing idea.
What's your idea, friend?
I'm going to say something very politely. If Motiva hears somebody knock, she's going to run straight for the door and she's going to purposefully dishevel her clothes and hair.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Oh my god.
I hate to say this, but obviously I'm gonna wait a second. But if you do that, anybody you pass by will have an finger quotes opportunity attack to stop you if they want, which is everybody here. But you can definitely attempt that if you would like.
Pause
Because
real quick while you decide. Real quick, I have to pee. I've been laughing too.
okay, I'm gonna pause because I also have to pee because it is really funny. So I'll go after Ash, but I'm formulating the way that you will perish. All right, we're pressing play again, and so give me everybody's passives really quick. Or actually, you guys can all roll perception if you want. Sorry,
Passive
what were-
perception is 16, so I'm okay with using passive.
Okay. What about the other guys?
You said perception.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and roll.
Okay.
Please don't be bad.
17.
19!
Nice. Okay, so you guys all hear this sort of sequence of events because I feel like the roll is valid considering you guys just became aware that this is very late. Motif is making a lot of noise. And a couple minutes into this sort of like a gag, this little kiki that you're having, you hear doors open and there's some sort of like mumbling outside of like two different voices kind of talking outside of the door.
Motiva fucking bolts.
Okay, who wants to go first?
Can I?
Yeah.
Dove sticks their leg out in an attempt to trip her.
Oh, that's very good. I want you to... Do you think that would be a dex save for Motiva, or do you... Because it's not a grapple.
What are the rules for knocking someone prone?
I'm pretty sure it's dex.
Oh, that's a good question.
I'm pretty sure it's a dex save. Because I've seen tripwires traps that are dex saves.
I'm gonna... Okay, using the attack action, you can make a special melee attack to shove a creature and knock it prone. So you have to make an attack.
Oh, okay,
But it won't do damage, but you'll have to basically roll to attack.
Oh my god, no, I would not actually hurt her. Okay.
Since it's a unarmed strike and you don't have proficiency, is it just a d20?
Well, everybody has
wait.
proficiency in unarmed
So-
strike.
Shove is,
fuck.
instead of making an attack roll, you make an athletics check contested by the target's athletic or acrobatics. Target chooses. Oh, okay, so I still have to make athletics. Well, that sucks for
Well-
me. That's fine.
Well, hold on, because I'm looking at it and how, like, since this is I'm also seeing that you can just use an attack roll. Like I said, you don't have to worry about damage. You just have to roll to hit.
So it's an unarmed strike?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
because this counts as shoving, technically.
13.
Oh.
13? Okay, does that hit you, Motiva?
Absolutely.
Okay,
My
you're on the ground.
AC is 11. Motiva just falls fucking flat on her face and she just cries.
Oh, it's a very loud thud.
She's got a lot of bone on her. Sounds like the Taco Bell dong.
No.
Okay, what were you gonna do, Falin, or are you?
Is Motiva now prevented from answering the door?
She is
She
prone.
worm crawls.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
worm crawls. So I'm gonna repeat a classic, if you will allow me, God.
is it the gravity?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it means that she can't move if she's under the gravity, right? She's restrained.
I'm pretty sure my
Hold
speed goes
on,
to
the cats are
0.
fighting. So you said speed is halved.
Yes.
Okay, but I actually have to see if can you still move while prone? Because I don't think you can. I think you have to use half your movement to get up and then keep walking.
I think you can move when you're prone. I think you're just crawling.
Okay.
Yeah, hang on. Because if I recall, it also has the movement if you're prone. but I
Oh
could be
yeah,
wrong.
you should
Wait,
crawl.
I have it pulled up right here. Its option is to crawl unless it stands up and thereby ends the condition. Disadvantage on attack rolls. Attack roll against the creature has advantage if attacker is within 5 feet.
And then
Otherwise, attack roll has disadvantage.
and then the
Hey.
crawl is it's half your movement because every foot of movement costs an extra foot. So you would have to. Okay, so your speed would already be halved, and then if
No, it's
you did the
0.
gravity, yeah, it would be halved again. Okay, yeah, you can definitely do that, and then stop her from moving, and you will get squashed, Motiva.
Motiva does a moan of pain.
I'm
How
also
loud?
gonna go and sit on Motiva.
How loud are you being?
You know. Oh,
Roll
you
performance.
know. Oh, ooh.
Roll performance.
Oh my
Well,
god.
I have a plus
Can I
8.
cover her mouth?
13.
The
Oh.
moan is from the gravity one, and then you can cover the mouth after this one. Okay, it's definitely not a porn star moan, but it definitely sounds like a moan. And you are silenced. And then you all hear the talking stop, and
Will
then
or Rowan, can you please answer the door?
Will covering his face. I was just gonna ignore it. I was just gonna be quiet and ignore
They
it.
are
Let them
right
leave.
there. They are right there.
Rowan goes to stand up, and walk over just as like there's this loud sort of banging on the door. And you see her go to open the door just a little bit, not to show any of the nonsense that's happening inside, and put her head out. And she's gonna have a heated, like, whispered conversation with the people outside.
Can I try to see who it is?
Are you gonna go up there and see?
Probably shouldn't. I'm gonna stay where
I can show you what she's doing. Like, she opened the door and is peeking her head out.
Oh, okay.
No,
I'm not gonna mess with it.
Can I use minor illusion?
Oh my god.
Oh my
No, because you're
God.
silenced. Oh, wait, no, it's not. Well, no, because you're restrained, right? No, you're prone. Oh, yeah, you could use minor illusion.
Oh my God.
I will give you a chance to grab her. Because it would be very obvious. She's bibbidi bobbidi booing her hand again.
Grab.
Yeah, roll, to grapple. Contested athletics.
So I'm bad at that. Let's go!
Damn it!
Hey,
Oh, is that a nat
guess
one?
what?
Yes!
I got 2. 4 minus 2, baby!
I
We
love
both got a
that.
2. We both got. Wait, it's a nat
No,
one.
you got a nat one.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, you only just barely managed to grab her in time. But there's like muffled like fighting noises and like things hitting the ground while you do that.
Is my mouth uncovered now?
No, I will say that no, because all she needs to do is grab one arm.
There we go.
Because you need both hands for somatic.
But Tiva's gonna try to look to Will, and she's gonna give her best puppy face. And she's gonna kick her legs.
You've done enough.
Is that him or you?
At you? That was him. At you.
But Tiva just
There's a
lying.
the conversation at the door kind of goes on for a little bit, and it's like before finally she goes to delicately close the door. And after a minute, you hear the footsteps leave, and one door closes gently, and then another one slams closed.
Who is that, Rowan?
Our lovely neighbors.
Which ones?
I have a question. Does Rowan know who your like friends are? I can't keep track of who you talk about who with.
Me, like Dove's friends?
Yeah. Or like also Falin though, because there was 2 different people.
Wait, hang on. Sorry. Can you repeat that?
Yeah, I can't keep track of who you talk about with who. Does Rowan like know y'all's friends? Or does Will know y'all's friends?
I don't think it's crazy to imagine they know your friends.
Yeah.
Well, not like
someone
know
would
them,
talk
but like
about
have
it.
you mentioned like I'm friends with Xanther, I'm friends with Rionia, I'm friends with like so and so. You know what I mean?
I don't know
Yeah.
if Dove has brought up, like, they're friends, but Rowan was just at an event where, like, Dove invited, like, a bunch of people, and, like, Rowan would have seen, like, I don't know, like, Dove, like, spending longer talking with, like, Quintilius or whatever. I don't know
That
if that
is
counts.
fair. I forgot about the event. Okay, delicious. Cool. So, how would she word that? I haven't formulated Rowan's opinions on some of the other book characters yet. She's gonna say, well, Rionia was a bit easier to deal with. Just coming to make sure that everything's fine. But we did have a visit from everyone's favorite Prismari. Said with Derizen.
Motiva just nods sagely.
And she looks over to Dev and says, no offense.
None taken. He was angry then, I assume.
Yes, but,
Did you
I
tell
gotta-
him it was Motiva?
No, I just said that it was, me and some friends, and he took it at that. It's not that hard to believe. I do have a bit of a reputation, so it's fine.
Motiva goes wide-eyed, and she just looks up like, oh. Also, she's gonna start wiggling her butt and trying to get Flynn off of her.
Flynn is gonna look to Motiva and says, "Will you stop making noises?"
She doesn't make a noise.
I hesitantly take my hand off of her mouth.
Okay, I think we're
Okay,
good. Okay.
Yes. Flynn gets up.
Nice. Rowan herds you all back to the Chase Lounge. Somebody made a joke about it earlier. You guys are free to go whenever you like.
Oh, we could have a sleepover.
Oh.
Will and Rowan kind of look to each other, kind of surprised, and Rowan is just like, "Do you want to?"
But would it? I'm worried about Sean going back to find the dorm room, be there and her by himself. But maybe he does need the time alone. I don't know. I don't want to make it
No.
worse.
Yes, this is a fair concern, I think.
Will is going to kind of make a face and say, "That's a tough one. I'm afraid I don't know enough about your roommate to really say what I think."
If you both wanted to have a sleepover, I'll go back to the dorm room. At least so one of us is there.
No, you like hanging out with the twins, and I don't want this to be a time where Sister pops up and gives these two a jump scare. I'll go check on him.
Thank you, Motiva.
It's no problem.
Motiva looks actually a lot more serious, and she just dusts herself off, and she picks up her guitar case, and she says, "Well, I'm gonna save you the embarrassment," and she goes invisible. And she, as politely as possible, leaves the door with trying not to make a noise.
Yeah, actually, as you go, something very interesting happens where, for a second, everybody kind of just, like, gives, like, a general goodbye as you go to leave, but Rowan is actually going to get up and follow you out and say, "Motiva, wait."
There's a void, but it is there, and she says, "Yes."
You see her go to think about what she's going to say for a second and give kind of a sigh, kind of awkwardly running a hand through the ends of her hair and say, "We're good, right?" Everything seemed good in there, but I just wanted to check.
You think that you can rough me up? I've had stitches worse than you.
Fair. I think that I can say confidently that I've had worse spats, but still, I don't like hurting people.
I'm fine. I promise.
Since we got a chance to talk about it, ever since last year, I've had a bit of an issue controlling my magic, and I just thought that maybe now it being out in the air would put some context on that, I suppose. I'm not normally that destructive, and I'm still sorry.
Motiva just... Well, there's no use in her nodding. She just sighs and says, "I promise I don't think that you tried to hurt me.
I also can't control my magic very well. I can't talk about it here, but I've ruined people's careers before, and that's not an exaggeration.
She just kind of nods somberly, and she says, after kind of clearing her throat, so we're good? Not just
Yeah, we're
okay,
good,
but good.
Gonkulets.
I want her to kind of like blindly like swat out at you. I'm gonna see if she manages to hit you with disadvantage. 1 second.
Ooh, don't
Okay,
you
nat 1. She
can hit
swings
me.
wide, but she's like, get the fuck out of here. But she laughs as she closes the door.
Don't do anything I wouldn't do, kids. Use protection. Whoa. And she takes the doorknob and she closes it. And she very quietly walks back to the dorm.
Delicious. So I actually think that this is a really good time to end it because this means that you guys have a lot of stuff you could do between game. I was gonna have a segment after this where I'm like, oh, what do you guys want to spend your night doing? But you guys have stuff you're gonna spend your night doing now.
I was going
Yeah.
to say this is actually really smart. Like I know it was like a hee-hoo, but like now Dev and Falin are with the 2 people they're gonna be leaving with tomorrow, so like we can all like we don't have to make the trip. We're just here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. I think it'll be
convenient.
cute. I think it'll be a really cute lead up to like the event.
Yeah.
And then also, Motiva will be able to check in on Ashan, maybe get some more insight into
Wow.
what's going
Have
on.
it in the dorm room
Winky
all to
face.
yourselves, huh?
Oh my
Winky face.
god.
Don't
know.
do anything I wouldn't do. Use protection.
Protection.
But and then obviously next time we're not gonna have normal sessions. We're just gonna have y'all's mini sessions at any point in the next 2 weeks, and then after I get those done, and the between like this nighttime RPs are done, then we'll schedule the next one. So it could take a bit, but we'll get everything all put together.
Okay.
I love you guys.
I love you guys. I had a lot of fun. I hope you,
Yeah.
Panini, I said this to the other two. I hope you liked Motiva just absolutely embarrassing the shit out of everybody and just being a little jester.
I love her being a little jester, and I also love pretending to be snot-nosed siblings being mean to each other.